I killed my wife on that flight. Or at least that's what the headline screamed after the smoke cleared and the lawsuits piled up like wreckage on a runway. Not with my hands, God. No. That would have been too clean, too merciful for what she deserved, but with a single, stupid choice, staying strapped in when every instinct, every whispered warning from that wide-eyed flight attendant screamed for me to run. Her voice had been a ghost in my ear, soft as contrails dissolving in the jet stream. Sir, you need to get off now. Trust me, I didn't. And 12 souls paid for my grudge, including the only family I had left. That moment replayed in my head like a bad layover in hell as the plane taxied out of LAX. The engines whining like accusations. My name's Jack Harlan. And if you think revenge is sweet, you haven't tasted the ash it leaves in your mouth. 5 years earlier, I'd been the king of a mid-tier logistics empire in Chicago, Harlan Freight, hauling everything from Amazon pallets to black market whispers across the Midwest. Sarah, my wife of 15 years, was the queen bee, all sharp suits and sharper smiles, the one who charmed investors while I sweated the routes. And then there was Mike, my college roommate turned VP, the brother I never had, who handled the creative accounting that kept our margins fat enough to buy that lake house in Wisconsin. We were unbreakable. Until the night Sarah came home from a late meeting with lipstick on her collar that wasn't Revlon red, but the color of betrayal. I found the emails first, encrypted, buried in a ghost folder on her laptop. Not just an affair with Mike, but a full-on heist. They'd siphoned $4.2 million from the company's slush fund, funneled it into offshore accounts under my name.
Why?
Mike had a gambling debt to some Ukrainian bookies in Vegas that would have buried us all. Sarah covered for him, because that's what family does. Right? But they didn't stop at theft. There was a discrepancy in the books, a missing driver. One of our long-haul guys named Tommy Ruiz, who'd vanished after a run to Detroit. Turned out, Tommy stumbled on their scheme, confronted Mike in a truck stop off I-80. Mike panicked, bashed his skull with a tire iron. Sarah helped bury the body in a cornfield outside Gary, Indiana. And me, I took the fall. Why'd I do it? Because Sarah was pregnant, our miracle after years of IVF hell, and she swore on the ultrasound printout that if I confessed to the embezzlement, we'd pin the murder on a phantom rival.
Keep it quiet.
For the baby.
Jack.
For us. I bought it. Hook, line, and felony. Signed the plea deal. Did 3 years in Illinois River Correctional, emerging a hollowed-out shell with tattoos from the yard and a hatred that burned hotter than the prison chow. Parole came with a gag order and a ruined rep. No one hires a felon freight king. Mike and Sarah? They sold Harlan Freight to a conglomerate,
Pocketed the payout,
and moved to LA. For the fresh start. Last I heard, they were toasting in Malibu with my money, raising little Emma, our daughter, as their golden child.
Now.
Here I was. Economy seat 24C on Southwest Flight 147 to Burbank. A one-way ticket bought with the last of my bridge loan from a shady pawn guy in O'Hare. My plan was simple. Show up at their glassbox McMansion in the hills. Spill the truth to Emma before they could spin it. Then watch the dominoes fall. Maybe call in an anonymous tip to the LAPD about that cornfield grave. Legal?
Hell no.
Satisfying? Like cracking open a cold Miller after a double shift. But as the safety demo droned on oxygen masks, life vests that don't work over water, I caught her eye. The flight attendant, mid-30s, olive skin, name tag reading Elena, with an accent that hinted at Miami Cuban roots. She was doing the rounds, but when she leaned over my row, her breath was hot against my ear, words barely audible over the hum. Get off now. They're watching. My gut twisted like a bad landing. Who?
How?
I'd been careful, fake beard in my duffel. Cash only. No digital trail. But Elena didn't wait for questions. She straightened, flashed a flight attendant smile to the guy in 24B snoring under his eye mask, and vanished down the aisle. The cabin door thudded shut, the jet bridge pulling away like a lifeline severed. I scanned the faces, business bros tapping laptops, a harried mom with twins, an old vet in a faded Desert Storm cap. No Mike. No Sarah.
Yet.
Heart pounding. I unbuckled. Told myself it was paranoia from the stir. Prison does that, turns every shadow into a shank. But as we pushed back, engines roaring to life, I felt it, eyes on me, cold and calculating from the jump seat shadows. By the time we hit 10,000 feet, the doubt had rooted deep. What if Elena knew? What if she was part of it? Sarah had connections, old sorority sisters in every union. I gripped the armrests, knuckles white as the Rockies below, replaying the whisper.
Trust me.
Bullshit. Trust got me striped pajamas and a shank scar on my ribs.
No.
This flight was mine. I'd land, rent a beater from Hertz, drive straight to their door. Let the past crash down like a pallet of undeclared cargo. Little did I know, the real crash was coming sooner, courtesy of a bomb in the lavatory and a betrayal that made Sarah's look like a parking ticket. The drink cart rattled by, and I waved off the watered-down scotch. Focus.
Jack.
Elena passed again, her smile tighter now, eyes flicking to my tray table like it held state secrets. I mouthed, who? But she shook her head, subtle as a no-smoking sign, and kept moving. Turbulence hit, then, the kind that makes your stomach drop like a bad stock tip. The plane bucked, oxygen masks dangling like nooses, and in the chaos, I saw him, row 8A, Mike's profile. Unmistakable, the weak chin, the gelled hair going thin. He wasn't looking back, but his hand was in his jacket pocket, fiddling with something bulkier than a phone. Sarah? Nowhere. But Emma, God, a carbon copy of her, at 8, braids and braces, clutching a stuffed unicorn in 8B. My daughter, unwitting passenger on Daddy's revenge tour. Panic clawed at my throat. Abort? Too late, we were committed. Cruising at 500 knots toward fallout. I slunk lower, mind racing through contingencies. Confront him midair? Air marshals would taste my ass before the seatbelt sign dinged off. Wait for landing? Tail him like a ghost? Risky. With LAX swarming like ants on a picnic.
Or
follow Elena's lead. Play the long game. But staying meant riding this beast straight into the storm, and something told me Mike's pocket held more than lint. As the captain announced smooth skies ahead, I made my call. Strap in. Harlan. This bird's going down, one way or another. And when it does, I'll be the one walking away. The in-flight magazine fluttered open on my lap, but the ads for Hawaiian getaways blurred into irrelevance as Mike's laugh carried back from the premium seats, that fake, booming chuckle he'd honed at frat parties, now laced with the smugness of a man who'd stolen everything and slept like a baby. Emma giggled too, high and innocent, asking about the clouds, and it hit me like a crosswind. She didn't know. To her, Daddy Mike was the hero who grilled burgers on the 4th and cheered at soccer games. Mommy Sarah the saint who baked cookies for PDA.
Me?
A vague family friend who moved away, if they mention me at all. 3 years of her life erased. My letters from prison returned unopened. Betrayal's cruelest cut isn't the knife, it's the scar it leaves on the ones you love. I needed air. Or, at least the illusion of it. Unbuckling quietly, I shuffled to the aft galley, past the oblivious masses munching peanuts. Elena was there, restocking mini bottles. Her back to me. What the hell was that whisper? I hissed, close enough to smell her vanilla body spray mixed with jet fuel. She spun, eyes wide like a doe in Dearborn at rush hour.
But there was steel beneath.
Not here. Lavatory. 2 minutes. Then she brushed past, calling out tray collection to cover the exchange. Paranoia? Or paranoia justified? In my former line, I'd learned shadows have owners. And Mike's were long. The lav door clicked shut behind me, the fan whirring like a confessional. Elena slipped in 30 seconds later, locking it with a practice flick. Tiny space. Her pressed uniform brushing my jeans, tension thick as humidity in a Florida summer. You're Jack Harlan, she said. Not a question. The freight guy who ate the fall for his partners. My jaw tightened, Google's a bitch. And you're the sky cop spilling secrets to strangers. Start talking. She glanced at the vent, like it had ears, then leaned in. Your wife's not just a cheater. She's connected. Bad. The kind of bad that buys hits on ex-husbands who get too close. Sarah? A hit? The pieces slotted. The anonymous threats during my stretch. Burned effigies on the yard. Snitches get ditches carved in my bunk. I'd chalked it up to gang static.
But now.
Proof. I demanded. Voice low. Elena pulled a crumpled photo from her pocket. Me. Grainy shot from O'Hare Security. Time-stamped yesterday. Back of it. Scrawled in Sharpie. $50,000.
Clean.
This hit my inbox last night. From a burner tied to a shell company your ex owns. I was supposed to facilitate. Code for look the other way when the plane malfunctioned. My blood ran colder than a Chicago winter. Sabotage. That's why the whisper. She wasn't saving just me. She was blowing the whistle on a sky-high murder plot. Why tell me? I pressed, mind spinning manifests of escape. Elena's face softened. Just a fraction, the crack in armor that screams backstory. My brother. Drove for your company 5 years back. Tommy Ruiz? They said accident. But I know. Found his wallet in that cornfield last summer. Tipped off a podcaster. Now they're coming for me too.
Tommy.
The ghost in the books. She'd connected, I hadn't. Turned grief into a crusade. Respect flickered. Unwanted. Allies in revenge are rare as honest cabbies. So what's the play? Deboard à cruising altitude. Sarcasm slipped out. Bitter as black coffee. She didn't laugh. Bomb in the forward hold. Wired to a phone trigger. Mike's got it. Land in Burbank. He dials. Boom, you're loose and tied. Along with 200 witnesses.
Bomb.
The word detonated in my skull. Flash to prison dreams. Explosions in the block. Shrapnel-like accusations. But this? Civilian skies. Emma's unicorn clutched in tiny fists. We tell the captain. Elena shook her head. He's bought. Or scared. Either way, Radio silence. Proof again, of a napkin from her apron. Scribbled coordinates for a mid-flight dump site over the Sierras. Contingency, she called it. Insanity, I thought. But staying meant playing chicken with C4.
Give me the phone, I said.
I'll get it from Mike. Her laugh was short.
Sharp.
Hero complex? That's how Tommy died.
Touché.
But heroes are for Hallmark. I was vengeance wrapped in flannel. We synced watches, 10 minutes to casual approach. Back in my seat. The plane dipped into a pocket of clear air. Sunlight spearing through like spotlights on a perp walk. Mike was on his phone now, visible over the headrests, texting furiously. Sarah's still MIA, maybe ground crew. Or worse, the trigger woman. Emma colored in a Disney booklet, oblivious. My hands shook ordering a ginger ale, the fizz mocking my resolve. Elena's plan was surgical. Distract Mike. Lift the burner from his jacket during turbulence. Mine? Blunt force. Wait for the lav line. Accidentally shoulder him. Pickpocket the device. Risky as jaywalking Michigan Avenue. But direct. Betrayal taught me subtleties for suckers. As the cart passed again, Elena's eyes met mine. Go time. I rose. Casual as a stretch, heading forward. The aisle was a gauntlet. Perfume clouds from a Botox socialite. Elbow from a dozing sales rep. Heart hammering like a V8 at Redline. I reached row 8. Mike looked up, our eyes locking for the first time since the courtroom where he'd testified against me. All teary, I had no idea. Recognition dawned slow, then bloomed into shock. Jack, what the foo? His hand dove for the pocket. I lunged, but the plane chose that instant to jolt, real turbulence. Or, divine joke, sending me stumbling into his armrest. Emma yelped. Unicorn tumbling. Chaos erupted. Cries from behind. A flight attendant, not Elena, yelling, "Sir, return to your seat." Mike's face twisted, ugly with fear and fury. His free hand shoving me back. I caught a glimpse, black phone. Screen glowing with a single app, timer. Red digits ticking 0:47. 47 seconds to what? Detonation? Call? The jolt saved me. He fumbled, the phone clattering under the seat ahead. I dove for it, fingers grazing plastic. But a knee, his protective, cracked my ribs. Pain bloomed, white hot, as passengers gawked like it was pay-per-view. Thief, Mike bellowed, drawing stares. Emma's eyes, wide and wet. Daddy. The word gutted me deeper than any shank. In that frozen beat, choices fractured. Grab the phone. Expose him? Or bolt? Let the bomb claim them all? Vengeance whispered sweet nothings. Fatherhood screamed mercy. I hesitated. And that's when the real explosion came, not from the hold, but from the cockpit, alarm blaring. Evacuate. Evacuate. Sirens wailed through the cabin like a bad country ballad. Red lights strobing off pale faces, turning the southwest bird into a disco of doom. This is not a drill, the captain barked over the intercom, voice cracking like cheap speakers at a dive bar. Unsecured explosive detected. Prepare for emergency descent. Chaos uncoiled, screams pitching high as a toddler's tantrum. Seats thrashing as belts snapped open. Oxygen masks deploying in a yellow rain. I was on the floor, ribs screaming from Mike's knee, fingers inches from the burner phone wedged under 7C's purse. Mike loomed above, face a mask of calculation, not panic. Not yet, his foot pinning my wrist. You should have stayed in the joint. Harlan, he snarled. Low enough for only us. Emma clung to his leg, sobbing, "What's happening?" "Daddy." The innocence in her voice was a blade, twisting. I bucked, elbow to his shin, tasting blood from a split lip. The phone skittered free, and I snatched it slick, warm from his pocket. Screen frozen on that timer. 0:32 now. 32 seconds to Armageddon. No signal bars, mid-air black spot. Good. Meant no dialing out.
But the app?
A blinking detonate button. Mocking me. Elena was wrong. It wasn't a call trigger. Remote. And Mike had the fob. Or Sarah did. Tucked somewhere safe. "Give me the kid," I growled, surging up. He laughed, bitter as burnt toast. "She's mine now." Always was. The lie fueled me. I headbutt his collarbone, heard the crack, and he reeled, shoving Emma toward the aisle. She tripped, sprawling amid the stampede. Unicorn lost in the fray. Time fractured. I scooped her up, light as a pallet feather, braids whipping my face, her arms locking around my neck in blind trust. "Uncle Jack," she whimpered, recognition flickering through tears.
God. The stab. Yeah. Kiddo.
Hold tight. Cradling her like contraband, I bolted aft. Mike's curses chasing. "You'll pay for this." Passengers surged forward. A human logjam toward the exits that weren't there yet. We were at 20,000 feet, dropping fast, the plane groaning like an old rig on empty. Elena met me at the galley, face ashen but eyes fierce. "You got it." I thrust the phone at her. She smashed it against the cart edge, shards flying like bad luck. "Not enough," she yelled over the din. The secondaries in the hold, wired to barometric pressure. We drop below 10K. It blows. Secondary. Plural sabotage. Sarah's handiwork. No doubt meticulous. The accountant in her plotting failsafes like tax loopholes. Options. I barked, shielding Emma from a flying tray. Kid was quiet now, shock glazing her eyes, thumb in mouth like she was 3 again. Elena yanked a panel, revealing a service hatch to the underbelly. Dump chute. Cargo access.
I go down.
Cut the wires. Suicide mission. Straight out of a Bruckheimer flick. Bullshit. We both go. But she was already clipping harnesses, shoving a toolkit into my free hand. Protect her. That's the play. Her gaze lingered a second too long, loaded with the unsaid. Tommy's sister. Fighting ghosts. Respect turned to something sharper, unwanted in the adrenaline soup. The plane banked hard, G-forces pinning us like guilty verdicts. Alarms layered. Fire. Depressurization. The works. Captain's voice cut in. Brace. Brace. Rows ahead. A fight broke out, some suit grappling the vet over a window seat. Idiocy in extremis. Mike was lost in the crush, but I felt his hate boring through. Betrayal's echo. He'd killed for less. Buried deeper. Emma buried her face in my shoulder, muffling, scared. Me too. Bug. But we're Harlan tough.
Lie.
But the kind that binds. Elena sealed the hatch behind us, the chute a black maw swallowing light. On 3, she counted, and we slid 0G freefall into the belly. Wind howling like feds at dawn. Cargo hold was atune, pallets lashed tight, shadows dancing from emergency strips. The device squatted amid luggage. A black box no bigger than a lunch pail. Red LED pulsing like a migraine. Wires snaked out. A rat's nest of colors. Elena dropped to knees. Toolkit flying open. Blue 2 altimeter snipped that. Pray. My job. Guard the fort. Emma clutched one-armed. Scanning for intruders. The plane shuddered. Descent whistle piercing ears. 15,000 feet. Gauges screamed. Sweat stung my eyes. Ribs throbbed with every breath. Faster, I urged. Voice raw. She sliced. Sparks flying. Cursing in Spanish. Got the primary. Secondary's encrypted, needs code.
Code.
Sarah's genius. Her paranoia. What combo? Our anniversary? Emma's birthday? Up top. Muffled pandemonium. Thuds. Shrieks. The captain's futile calm. Mike would be scheming. Rallying the crew. Painting me the villain. Bomb placer, he'd yell. Twisting my grab into guilt. Controversial? Hell yes. I'd just assaulted a father in front of his kid. Broken bones in God's airspace. Right or wrong? Gray as a stormy tarmac. Elena's hands shook now. Pliers slipping. Try 0423, Tommy's batch.
Click.
Nothing. 15K ticking to 12K. Emma whimpered. Uncle Jack. Make it stop. I rocked her, humming that off-key lullaby Sarah used to mock. Focus fractured. Flash to the cornfield. Imagine Tommy's last gasp. Mike's tire iron swing. I'd covered for monsters. Was I one now? Wait, I said. Mind latching a memory. Sarah's safe code. From our old house, our wedding date. Twisted. 0714. Elena punched it. Green light. Wires hummed. Then stilled. Disarmed. Relief crashed like a safe landing. But the hold lurched, emergency dive steepening. Hatch. We scrambled up the chute. Me boosting Elena. Emma a deadweight anchor. Popping into the galley. It was bedlam. Masks askew. Barf bags deployed. A nun praying rosaries over a hyperventilating teen. No Mike. Where's? Elena started. But I pointed. Forward. Through the chaos. Sarah. She'd boarded late. Incognito in a scarf and shades. Now shedding them like snakeskin. Phone to ear. Not calling 911. Triggering something else? We pushed through. A triage of elbows and pleas. Let me by, family emergency. Lies greased the way. Sarah saw us coming. Face paling under the makeup. Jack? How? Shock to calculation in a blink. Classicer. Pivot like a pro. Give me my daughter. Emma recoiled. Burrowing deeper.
No.
Mommy. Scary. The rejection landed like a gut punch for her.
For me.
Sarah's eyes narrowed. Venomous. You did this. The bomb. Your revenge fantasy. Gaslight.
Pure.
But Elena stepped up. Photo in hand. We know. Sarah. The hit. The cover-up. Tommy. Sarah's mask slipped. Just a hair. Guilt?
Fear? Lies.
He's unstable. Parole psych eval said violent. The plane leveled at 5,000. Flaps whining. Burbank Tower crackling in. Captain. Cleared to land. Emergency teams standing by. Cheers mixed with sobs. But tension coiled tighter. Mike burst from economy, then arm in a sling from our tussle. flanked by 2 air marshals, badges flashing, guns drawn low. That's him, the bomber. He pointed. Emma's weight suddenly lead in my arms. Marshals advanced, crowd parting like Red Sea rejects. Sarah mouthed thank you to Mike, partners in crime. Eternal. Elena whispered, run.
But where?
Doors sealed till touchdown. I backed against the galley. Cornered Coyote. Emma's whisper, don't let them take you. Uncle Jack. Touchdown Jared like Judgment Day. Tires screeching. Reverse thrust roaring. Doors cracked. Slides inflating with whooshes of yellow nylon. Evac stampede. Passengers tumbling out. Fire trucks wailing below. I handed Emma to Elena, get her safe, and bolted for the jet bridge. Marshals hot on heels. Halt. FBI. One yelled. FBI? Sarah's pull ran deep. Dodging carts. I vaulted a railing. Hitting tarmac running. Gunshots? No, warnings. Echoing off hangars. Heart a freight train. I zigzagged toward the perimeter fence. Chain link promising freedom or folly. Mike's voice carried. Stop him, he's armed. Lie compounding lie. Fence cleared in a rattle of metal. Landing in weeds beyond. Sirens converged, but I melted into the employee lot. Hot wiring a groundskeeper's F-150 with tricks from the yard. Engine coughed to life. Peeling out toward the 405. Sarah and Mike had Emma. Elena was in custody.
Probably.
Revenge? Half-baked. Bloodied. But the seed was planted. Cops crawling their lies now. Tommy's ghost exhumed. As L.A. Sprawl swallowed me. Rear view filling with blues. I gripped the wheel. This wasn't over. It was just wheels up. The F-150's dash clock blinked 2:17 a.m. as I ditched it in a Koreatown strip mall lot. Engine ticking cool under sodium lamps that buzzed like angry hornets. Burbank to L.A. Proper was a blur of taillights and regret. The 101 a concrete vein pulsing with night owls and insomniacs. Emma's face haunted the mirrors, those eyes. Sarah's eyes. Pleading without words. I'd saved her from the sky, but handed her back to the wolves. Father of the year? Try felon of the fucking decade. Pockets light, wallet with $200 in crumpled 20s. Elena's photo now my talisman. A Zippo from prison trades. No phone, burner bought at a gas station off-ramp, but signal jammed by paranoia. Call who? Cops? They'd cuff me faster than a mile-high club bust. First stop, a 24-hour taqueria on Olympic. The kind with fluorescent glare and salsa that bites back. Burrito in hand, chorizo. Extra onions. I huddled in a booth. Mapping next moves on a greasy napkin. Sarah and Mike's address. Pulled from a PI's old invoice. Burned into memory. 1427, Skyline Drive. Hollywood Hills, gated. Cameras. The works.
Storm it now.
Dawn raid suicidal. Feds would swarm like flies on roadkill. Wait for the crack. Their alibis fracturing under scrutiny. Elena's testimony cracking the facade. But waiting meant watching them spin. Coaching Emma with bedtime stories of crazy Uncle Jack.
No.
Direct action. Infiltrate. Extract the kid. Vanish to the Badlands or some off-grid nowhere. Controversial? Kidnapping your own blood rates felony points. But morality's a luxury for the unbetrayed. A TV mounted over-the-counter droned Fox News. Ticker scrolling. Mid-air terror averted on Southwest flight. Hero attendant credits passenger tip. Hero. Elena. My chest swelled, unwanted pride mixing with dread. Cut to grainy cell footage of the evac. Mike cradling his injured arm. Sarah tear-streaked, clutching Emma. "We thought we were goners," she sobbed to the mic. "Oscar-worthy. Some maniac, Jack Harlan. My ex, he attacked my husband, tried to hurt our baby." Camera panned to feds hauling a zip-cuffed Elena toward an SUV. "Accomplice," the anchor intoned. "Bullshit symphony." I choked down the last bite, bile rising. They were flipping the script. Me the monster. Them the martyrs. Public opinion? Split down party lines. MAGAs cheering lock him up, libs decrying vigilante justice. Perfect storm for their escape. Napkin map done. I slipped out, hailing a cab with a fake name, Rudy from accounting. Driver. A grizzled vet with a Dodgers cap. Eyed my rumpled shirt, but said nada. Skyline Drive. He grunted, merging into traffic. Ride-up was torture. Billboards for lawyers promising justice for victims. Irony thick as smog. At the gate, I paid cash, melted into shadows of eucalyptus groves lining the climb. Hills alive with mansions, McMansions. Really? Built on Ponzi dreams like mine. There's loomed at the crest, modern glass and steel. Infinity pool glowing like a trap. No cars in the drive. Feds probably whisked them to a safe house. But lights flickered inside. Security? Or Sarah? Pacing with a nightcap? Perimeter fence here was wrought iron, topped with razor coils that whispered, "Trespassers will bleed." I scaled it slow, shirt snagging like bad karma, dropping into manicured hedges that scratched like accusations. Crawling low, I hit the side wall. Motion lights dormant, power glitch or luck. Window cracked for breeze. Screen loose. Childhood treehouse skills kicked in. I pried it, slipping inside to a laundry room smelling of downy and deceit. Heart jackhammering. I froze. Footsteps upstairs. Murmur of voices. Mike's timbre. Argumentative. Sarah's. Soothing. Emma? Silence. Or asleep. Gun? None. But the toolkit from the hold, pliers, wire cutters, felt like an equalizer in my pocket. Up the back stairs. Carpet muffling my boots. I hit the hallway. Family photos mocking from walls. Us in better days, me. Sarah. Toddler Emma at Disney. Grins wide as the Grand Canyon.
Now.
Gaps where mine were excised. Voices sharpened from the master suite. Door ajar. Wedge of light spilling. I edged closer. Breath held like contraband. Mike. Dat feds bought the story. But that bitch attendant's lawyering up. We need to bolt. Caymans. Like we planned. Sarah. And the money? It's frozen pending investigation. Jack's fault. All of it. Mike snorted. Speaking of, he's out there. I saw him rabbit from the tarmac. Cycle come for us.
Pause.
Then Sarah's voice. Steel-edged. Let him. I've got the .38 in the nightstand. One bullet. Problem solved. Ice in veins. Not just betrayal. Premeditated permanence. I gripped the pliers. Knuckles popping. Burst in.
Disarm.
Demand Emma? Or wait. Gather more recordings. Docs to bury them legal-like. Moral compass spun wild. Vengeance screamed, end it. Lawman whisper, evidence first. Controversial calculus. Kill in cold blood. Or let them skate on technicals. Footsteps approached the door. I ducked into a linen closet. Shelves digging ribs. Door cracked for view. Mike entered the hall. Phone to ear. Yeah?
Boss.
The hit's on hold, complications. But Harlan? We'll handle in-house.
Boss.
Who? Not Sarah. A third player. Pulling strings from the shadows. Sarah followed, robe slipping off one shoulder. Vulnerability, a weapon she'd wielded since college. She paused, sniffing air like a hound. You smell that? Cigarette? No, him. Zippo in my pocket, prison habit, faint tobacco ghost. She spun, eyes locking the closet. Jack, I know you're here. Heart stopped. Mike dropped the phone, drawing a Glock from his waistband. Where'd that come from? Sky Marshal confiscation bypassed? Sarah snatched her .38 from the bedroom, chambering a round with a snick that echoed doom. Come out, honey. Let's talk. For Emma.
Lie.
Sweet as strychnine. I weighed odds. 2 guns. 1 me. Pliers as brass knuckles. Emma's room down the hall. Get to her. Use a shield? Sick thought. But survival's ugly. Door creaked open under Mike's boot. Barrel first. Peekaboo. Motherfucker. I exploded out, pliers arcing for his wrist. Connect, crunch of bone. Gun clattering. He howled, tackling me into drywall, fists raining like hail. Sarah fired wild, bullet splintering oak. Stop. You'll hit. Me?
No.
The vase of heirloom roses. Priorities. I need Mike's groin. Rolled free, snatching the Glock. Sarah lunged, .38 pressing my temple cold. Drop it.
Jack.
Or brains on Berber. Standoff. Hall reeking of cordite and cordite. Mike groaned, cradling his hand. Kill him.
Babe.
But she hesitated. Old sparks? Or ploy? Why? Jack, why drag this up? We gave you an out.
Out.
The plea deal. The cover. You murdered Tommy. Framed me. Put a bomb on my flight for me. Her laugh. Brittle. Your flight? It was for us. You were coming to take Emma. Spill lies. We protected our family.
Their family.
Gray area widened. Were they villains? Or desperate parents torching bridges to save the drawbridge? Emma's cry pierced then from her room. Mommy?
Daddy.
Nightmare fuel. Sarah's eyes flicked, gun wavering a hair. I took it, shot her knee. Non-lethal. Scream shattering glass. She crumpled. .38 skittering. Mike charged. I fired warning into ceiling. Stay down. Or next one center mass. He froze. Hands up. Okay.
Okay.
Truce. Sirens wailed distant. Neighbor spooked by shots. Time bleeding out. I backed toward Emma's door. Glock steady. Keys to the Tesla. Now. Mike tossed them. Venomous. You'll never make it. Feds have your plate. Bluff or truth. Didn't matter. Door opened to pink walls. Unicorn bedspread. Emma peeking terrified. Uncle Jack? Are you the bad man? Gutted again. Scooped her up. Her warmth a lifeline.
No. Bug.
I'm the one who loves you. Downstairs. Out back. Tesla purring to life. Sarah's wail chased. Don't take her. Please. Controversial exit. Thief in the night. Or rescuer in the dark. As gates clanged open. Blues flashing below. I floored it. Freedom's a moving target. Dawn broke over the grapevine like a hangover. Orange haze smearing the I-5 as the Tesla 8 miles toward Bakersfield. Emma dozed shotgun. Unicorn proxy clutched tight, her breath steadying into the rhythm of the uninformed. 9 years old, world upended, and all she knew was adventure with Uncle Jack. Lies layered like trucker coffee, black, bitter, necessary. Rear view. No tails yet, but Mike's warning echoed. Feds on plate? Plausible. Sarah's Rolodex read like a DC directory. Plan B. Ditch the ride at a truck stop. Hop a semi eastbound. Chicago? No, too hot. Wyoming? Maybe. Cousin's ranch off-grid. Raise her right. A truth in doses. Revenge simmering slow. But first, gas and grace. Buttonwillow Travel Plaza loomed. Rigs idling like iron beasts. CB chatter crackling about loads and lot lizards. I parked nose in. Casual as a sales call. Waking Emma gentle. Pit stop.
Kiddo.
Pancakes. Her smile. Sleepy. With syrup, heart mended a fracture.
Inside.
The diner hummed, greasy spoons and grease monkeys. Waitresses with tattoos and tired eyes. We slid into a booth, ordering stacks and OJ, her coloring on a placemat while I scanned the lot. News on the tube, CNN loop of the flight. Domestic terror suspect at large, armed, dangerous. Possible child abduction. My mugshot flashed. Post-prison gaunt. Emma glanced up. That's you. Matter of fact. No fear. Kids absorb chaos like sponges.
Yeah.
Bad hair day. She giggled, small win. But the anchor dropped the bomb. Sources confirm Harlan's linked to the murder of Thomas Ruiz. Unsolved since 2020. Associates say he confessed in prison whispers. Whispers? Mike's spin. Planting seeds. Elena's photo evidence? Suppressed. Or worse. Phone buzzed. Burner. Unknown. Answered low. Harlan. Static. Then her voice. Elena.
Horse.
You idiot. Feds grilled me 6 ways. Said you forced the disarm. Attacked Mike. But I held Tommy's wallets with a reporter now. Chicago Sun-Times. It'll break today. Ally Steel. Emma's with me. Safe.
Pause.
Waited.
Good.
But Sarah? She's flipping. Immunity deal, testifying you masterminded the heist.
The bomb.
Painting Mike clean.
Flip.
Antagonist unmasked. Sarah. The maw of schemes. Devouring her own to survive. Hung up as plates arrived. Syrup pooling sweet. Emma chattered about school, private academy in the hills. Friends with names like Madison and Preston. Envy stung. Eyed missed recitals. Parent-teacher lies. Why'd mommy cry? She asked. Fork midair. Truth bomb too soon? Grown-up stuff.
Bug.
Mistakes. She nodded. Sage beyond. Like when I broke my doll. You fix it. Wishful.
Outside.
A black SUV idled, tinted. Ominous. Feds? Or Mike's boss? Paranoia throttle up. Paid cash. Herded Emma to the pumps. Tesla juicing slow. Semi's better bet. Approached a Peterbilt. Cab high as a pulpit. Driver unloading, big guy. Handlebar statch. Iron Maiden tea. Headed east? Got a rider and a half. He eyed us. Then Emma's unicorn. Family? Hop in. But no funny business.
Gruff.
But gold. Cab smelled of diesel and despair. Dash cluttered with Jesus bobbleheads and empty Red Bull cans. Earl, he said, hauling produce to Denver. Heard the news? That plain nutter. I grunted noncommittal. Emma wide-eyed at the altitude. Uncle Jack's a trucker now. She beamed. Earl chuckled, shifting gears like a symphony. Miles unspooled, talk turning to war stories his nom. My prison yard. Betrayal's the real enemy, he philosophized. Amen. By Barstow. Emma napped on a blanket nest. I spilled fragments to Earl, no names. But the bones. He whistled low. Sounds like my ex, cleaned me out, left me with the dog. Vengeance? Tempting. But it eats ya. Wisdom from the road. Night fell hard over the Mojave, stars pricking black like bullet holes. Earl pulled into a Love's for fuel, me slipping out to stretch. Payphone there, relic, but working. Dialed a number from memory, my old lawyer, greasy but loyal. Voicemail. Russo. It's Harlan. Need a favor, trace a Cayman account. Sarah Harlan née Whitaker. And watch the Sun-Times drop. Hung up. Coins clinking judgment. Back to the rig. But shadows moved. 2 suits from the SUV. Earlier tale? They'd tracked the Tesla. Now closing. Earl. I hissed up. He lumbered down.
Spotting them. Trouble.
Company. Emma stirred. I scooped her. Bolting for the cab. Suits drew. Badges?
No.
Silencers glinting moonlight. Mike's boss's muscle. Gunfire whispered, ping off chrome. Shattering a taillight. Earl roared. Tackling one. Fists flying like haymakers. Get the girl out. I vaulted into the Peterbilt. Key in ignition from Earl's fumble. Engine bellowing awake.
Pedal down.
Rig lurching forward. Clipping the second goon. Emma screamed. Go faster. Asphalt blurred. Bullets pinging undercarriage. Earl? Yelling faded down. But swinging? Guilt gnawed. But survival overrode. CB crackled. This is Big Earl. Armed assailants at Love's. Mile marker 212. Send help. State troopers. Maybe. But muscle wouldn't wait. Interstate empty. I pushed 80. Governor screaming. Emma white-knuckled the dash. Who are they? Bad guys.
Bug.
Like in movies. She nodded.
Fierce.
You stopped them? Damn right. Dawn in Utah. Rig wheezing into a rest area near St.
George.
No tails, lost in the weave. Earl's call bought time. News would spin, shoot out at truck stop. Harlan suspect. Controversial heat. Hero dad or armed fugitive. Public divide deepening. Twitter. X now, ablaze with justice for Harlan versus. Plane bomber. Ditched the burner. Scavenged anew from the glove box. Called Russo again. Accounts traced. $3 million left. But moving. And the drop. Sun-Times front page. Tommy's body found. DNA match to Mike's tire iron from evidence locker. Vindication. Partial. Sarah's immunity.
Crumbling.
But the boss? Russo. Shell Corp. Vegas ties. Ukrainian. Maybe. Gambling syndicate Mike's debts. The puppeteer. Emma needed normalcy. Zion National Park loomed, detour. Tourist camouflage. Hiked Angel's Landing Trail at midday. Her hand in mine. Wonder eclipsing fear. Look. Uncle Jack. Angels. Red rock arches. Vast as forgiveness. At the summit, wind whipping, I sat her down. Your mom and dad. They did bad things.
Hurt people.
Including me. Her brow furrowed. Like steel cookies? Closer to steel empires.
Worse.
But I love you. Always. She hugged fierce. I love you too. Don't leave. Promise sealed in sweat and stone. But descending, Ranger radio buzzed. APB for a silver Peterbilt. Stolen. Armed felon aboard. Earl's rig hot. Time to ghost. Hitched a ride with a van of hikers, RVers, chatty retirees, to Bryce Canyon. Swapped stories. Me the divorced dad on custody run. Believable till the sketch on their tablet newsfeed. That's you. Bridge lady gasped. Tense feet, then grandpa winked. We hate bullies. Floor it to the next town. Allies. Unexpected. Canab by dusk. Motel cash only. Alias Tom Sawyer. Emma bathed. Unicorn guard. Me pacing. Phone pinged. Anonymous text. Boss knows. Sarah flipped for real. Coming for the girl. Run north. Elena. Sprung? Jailed or jailbreak. Trust the whisper again. North. Idaho Panhandle. Anonymous. But the boss, Ukrainian ghost, loomed. Revenge arc bending. Not just personal, but syndicate takedown. Controversial? Expose mob ties. Risk Emma in crossfire? Decisions like switchbacks. No straight path. Night deep. Emma snores soft. I slipped out for air. Stars infinite. Regrets too. Flash to the plane. That hesitation. Cost of grudge.
Now.
With her. Same gamble. Footsteps crunched gravel, shadows lengthening. Not alone. The motel's neon vacancy flickered like a dying pulse as I spun toward the crunch. Glock, pilfered from the goons' drop at Love's, leveled into the dark. Show yourself. Silhouette detached from the ice machine, tall, lean. Leather jacket over a frame that screamed ex-special forces. Face half-shadowed. Scar bisecting a brow like a lightning bolt. Not fed. Not goon. Too poised.
Easy.
Harlan. Name's Viktor Kovalenko. We need to talk. Ukrainian lilt. Velvet over gravel. The boss. Or errand boy. Emma's door loomed behind me. One wrong twitch. And I'd ventilate him. Talk from there. Who's sent? He raised hands slow. Empty palms moonlit.
Me.
Sort of. Mike's marker? Mine to collect.
But you.
You're the wild card. Wild card. Flattery from felons. I kept the bead, but lowered a hair. Curiosity's curse. Spill. Victor glanced the lot. Empty save a semi-idling. Driver snoring. Sarah called my people after the plane. Offered double to erase you both. But I dug. Your freight days? You hauled for us once. Quiet loads from Odessa docks. Chicago drop.
Clean.
No snitch. Respect in the recap.
Grudging.
So Mike's debts weren't poker, syndicate shipping. Harlan freight the mule. Blind then. Complicit now by osmosis. And, Victor smirked, scar twisting. I don't kill honest men. Or kids. Mike, different story. He skimmed, your money padded his take. Sarah knew. Flip. Antagonist imploding. Her schemes boomeranging. Gun wavered. Logic lagged emotion. Why tell me? Alliance? He chuckled.
Low.
Survival. Feds closing. Your attendants leak hit international wires. Tommy Ruiz? Our driver too. Mike whacked him over a shorted kilo. Not books.
Kilo.
Drugs. Not just cash. My empire. Tainted deeper than I dreamed. Gray deep into black. I'd borne the fall for narco freight. Unknowing Patsy. Controversial core. Expose it all. Torch innocence in the blast? Or selective burn? Mike and Sarah only? Victor stepped closer. Voice dropping. Help me clip the loose ends. You get the girl. Clean slate. I get my books balanced. Devil's bargain. American as apple pie a la mode with arsenic. Emma stirred inside. I holstered. Decision deferred. Motel coffee. 5 minutes. No tricks. He nodded, melting back to his ride, a nondescript charger.
Inside.
Pot brewing weak as alibis. I roused Emma gentle. New friend.
Bug.
Adventure continues. Her yawn. Trusting. Pancakes again?
Soon.
Victor entered. Cap doffed. Playing polite. Emma sized him. You look like a pirate. Scar earned the quip, he grinned. Our
Lass.
treasure hunt. She warmed quick, kids. Resilient as rubber. Over mugs. Maps unrolled. His intel, Sarah holed in a Beverly safe house. Mike lawyered up downtown. Spinning coerced tales. Feds skeptical. But her immunity held for now. Strike tonight, Victor urged. Before she testifies tomorrow. My gut rebelled. Night raid with a mobster. Emma collateral? But delay meant her lies cementing. Emma lost forever. You in. Victor's eyes. Ice blue. For the debt. We rolled at midnight. His charger leading to a strip mall swap. My stolen Subaru from the lot. Nondescript. Emma buckled rear. Unicorn sentinel. Humming Disney tunes to drown nerves. Like spies. Uncle Jack, best kind. Lies lubricating. Drive south. Back to LA. Basin. Victor's radio scanning chatter. Cop codes. Nothing hot. At the safe house, a bland condo off Ventura, perimeter was laughable. 2 guards. Ex-cops by the paunch. Smoking on the stoop. Victor's plan. I distract. He snipes from the alley, suppressed .22. Quiet as a whisper. Non-lethal shots to knees. Then breach. Me. Extract Sarah. Force the flip back. Parked 2 blocks. Emma with a Walkman. Victor's ancient mixtape of Springsteen. Stay put. Lock doors. Her nod.
Brave.
Heart heavy. I ghosted forward. Glock oiled silent. Guards bantered sports. Dodgers slump. Backs to me. Victor's signal. Low whistle. I'll mock. Pop pop. Thuds. Groans. They dropped like sacks. Breach. Door picked in seconds. Victor's Kit Pro.
Inside.
Dim hall to living room. Sarah on the couch. Wine glass trembling. TV murmuring trial prep. No gun. Arrogance or exhaustion. Jack. No surprise. Just resignation. Knew you'd come. Stood slow. Robe slipping. Vulnerability ploy again? I leveled. Truth time.
Sarah.
All of it. She poured another glass. Offering.
Sit.
Emma? Safe. Her laugh. Hollow. You think you're the hero? Dragging her through this? Mike's right. You're broken.
Deflect.
Mike's dead if he skimmed. Victor outside. Your Ukrainian fairy godfather? He knows. Her face cracked, wine spilling red as accusation. Victor? He was insurance. The loads, your loads, kept us afloat when you were blind. Blame shift. My ignorance. Their necessity. Tommy died for kilos, not cash. You buried him. Tears now. Real panic. Mike lost it.
I cleaned up.
For us. The baby.
Emma.
The hook that reeled me in. Gray fogged. Was it love? Twisted? Or sociopath calculus? Victor entered then. Suppressor smoking faint. Talk. Mrs.
Harlan.
Or we make you. She paled, but chin up. Immunity's ironclad. I sing. You both fry. Bluff or bite. I pressed. Sing to me. The boss, Victor's boss.
Who?
Sarah's eyes darted, calculation flipping. Levchenko. Vegas. Mike's real debt. Stole a shipment. Blamed you in the books. Victor stiffened. Betrayal aired. Levchenko thinks I'm complicit. Her smile. Serpentine. Call him. Verify. Victor dialed. Terse Ukrainian exchange. Hung up. Face thunder. She lies. Or twists. He's sending cleaners for all. Flip complete. Sarah. Double agent. Selling out her savior for scraps. Sirens whined distant. Guards' radios? Time hemorrhaged. The testimony, I demanded. Retract.
Clear me.
Elena. Sarah's gaze softened. Almost tender.
Can't.
Too late. But, Emma. Take her. I'll say you coerced. Sacrifice? Or stall? Victor growled. No time. Grabbed her arm. She twisted. Wine bottle shattering on his temple. Chaos. She bolted for a bedroom. Me chasing. Door slammed.
Locked. Jack.
It's not what you think. Inside. Scuffle. Phone?
Gun?
I shouldered through. Wood splintering. Sarah on the floor. Not fighting, clutching a laptop. Drive whirring. Evidence. All of it, emails, transfers, the cornfield GPS. For you. Gift horse? Or Trojan? Victor burst in, hauling her up. We go.
Now.
But outside. Tires screeched Levchenko's cleaners. Black Escalades disgorging goons. Gunfire chattered. Windows exploding glass rain. Down, I tackled them. Laptop skidding. Emma, God. The car. Radioed Victor's phone, no answer. Burst out. Sarah dragged. Victor covering with pops. Lotta Warzone. Subaru riddled. Emma's door ajar empty? No. Crouched behind tire. Unicorn shield. Uncle Jack. Scoop and run. Her legs pumping. Escalade, reversed. U-turning. Victor's charger peeled in. Door yawning. In, piled. Sarah dumped rear with Emma, glare lethal. Victor floored. Bullets chasing like hornets. Freeway merge. 100 miles per hour weave. Emma wailing silent tears. Sarah soothed. Hand on hers. Mommy's here. Hypocrisy burned. Victor. Levchenko's lair, Vegas. End it there. My call? Controversial crossroads. Ally with mob to torch the source. Risk Emma in the inferno? Or bail? Let the feds sort the snakes? Laptop buzzed. Auto-decrypt. Files spilling. Proof galore. Mike's schemes. Sarah's forgeries. Levchenko's manifests. Enough to bury empires. But trust? Shattered as the rear glass. As Vegas lights beckoned, neon promise of ruin, I gripped the dash. Revenge's high-stakes poker. All in,
Or fold the family.
Vegas Strip throbbed like a migraine at noon, but we hit it pre-dawn, ghost town of gamblers' regrets. The Charger weaving limos and lost souls under the sphere's unblinking eye. Emma conked out rear, head on Sarah's lap despite the venom. Blood calls louder than grudges. Sarah stroked her hair. Face a war of exhaustion and calculation. Laptop chained her ankle with Victor's zip ties, precaution against more flips. You believe me now, she murmured. Eyes on the mirror. The files, it's everything. Clear your name.
Jack.
Walk away. Temptation sang soft, like a lounge act past prime. But trust? Fractured as the stratosphere's old needle.
Why? Pity.
Her laugh. Weary. Survival. Levchenko takes us all otherwise. Pragmatism. Not penance. Gray lady.
To the end.
Victor grunted from the wheel. Scar livid in dash glow. MGM Grand Garage. My contact, inside man. Casino security. Stashes us till nightfall. Plan. Infiltrate Levchenko's penthouse suite, top of the Mandalay Bay. Glass eagles nest overlooking the chaos. Intel from Sarah's drive. Safe codes. Guard rotations. The big man's weakness, vodka neat and vanity. Hit him with the evidence. Force a confession vid. Mob kingpin admitting frames. Murders. Sky bombs. Leak it viral. Collapse the house of cards. Controversial endgame. Collude with the viper to behead it. Innocents scorched in the fallout. Emma stirred. Mommy. Where's Daddy? Sarah's flinch visible. Safe. Baby.
Soon.
Lie's half-life short. Garage was a concrete crypt. Victor's contact, a paunchy Slav named Dmitri, waving us into a service bay. Boss man's paranoid post-plane news. Doubled guards. We piled into a utility closet disguised as janitor Nirvana. Mops. Buckets. A cot for Emma. Dmitri slipped sandwiches and burner phones, vanishing with a shrug. Levchenko pays.
But you?
Good luck. Hours crawled, Emma coloring on butcher paper. Sarah and I in armed truce. Victor pacing like a caged wolf. Whispers traded, prison tales for her sorority sins. I loved you.
Jack.
Still do. In the wreckage. Whiskey words. Or worm. I let it lie. Focusing files, scanned on the burner. PDFs of manifests, my rigs hauling heroin bricks labeled auto parts. Complicity by proxy. I'd greenlit routes blind. Moralmeyer. Rat out the syndicate. Torch truckers who knew? Or selective justice. Levchenko solo? Midday. News broke on the closet's tiny TV. Chicago Sun-Times exclusive. Tommy's exhumation. Tire iron DNA tying Mike. Feds raiding Harlan freight remnants. Sarah's immunity revoked. Material witness flees. Her face ashen. Michael sing too. Blame me. Victor snorted. He already did. Called Levchenko from lockup. Traded for protection. Flip within flip. Mike. The weasel. Selling Sarah to save skin. Her eyes met mine. Pleading silent. Help me fix it. Alliance fracture lines cracking. Emma piped. Uncle Jack. Draw a plane. I sketched Southwest 147. Bomb defused. Hero edit. Her grin. You saved us. Partial truth. Pure light. Dusk fell. Neon igniting like false promises. Dmitri returned. Window, service elevator to 62. Guards at 60. But drunk. We geared. Victor with suppressed Beretta. Me Glock. Sarah a reluctant knife from the kit. For protection. Emma stayed with Dmitri. Lollipop bribe. Be brave. Bug. Back soon. Her hug crushed ribs anew. Elevator hummed ascent. Stomach dropping like the flight's dive. Floors ticked. 40. 50. City sprawl to toy trains below. Sarah's hand brushed mine. Electric ghost. If we die. We won't. Machismo mask. Doors dinged 62. Hall opulent. Marble veined gold. Guards slumped at a side door. Vodka bottles. Heads lolling. Victor zip-tied silent. Key card lift. Penthouse door side open to excess. Floor-to-ceiling glass. Strip panorama. Bar stocked rarer than ethics. Levchenko held court. Silver fox. 60s. Silk robe over a frame oiled by trainers. 2 malls. Giggling over caviar. Lieutenant. Tattooed bull. Nursing scotch. Victor. The traitor graces us. Accent thicker. Menace velvet. Victor stepped forward. Beretta casual. Business.
Lev.
Harlan's got the drive. Lev's laugh boomed, dismissing malls with a wave. Lieutenant tensed. Hand inching holster. I covered. Easy.
Big guy.
Standoff. Air thick as cigar haze. Sarah spoke then. Voice steady. The files, mic skim. Your shipments. All documented. Lev's eyes narrowed. Appraising.
Ah.
The wife. Feisty.
Sit. Drink.
Trap or parley. We sat, couches buttersoft. Guns uneasy on laps. Lev poured Grey Goose.
Neat.
You think evidence scarce? I've bought DAs. But doubt flickered, plain fiasco global. Feds circling. Victor slid the burner. Record it. Confess the frames, Harlan. Ruiz. Call off the hit. Lev sipped. Calculating. And Sarah leaned. We walk. Immunity for all. Her flip again, bargain from the brink. Lev chuckled. Ambitious. Lieutenant twitched. I caught it. Glock rising. Too late, his piece sparked. Victor jerking back. Red blooming shoulder. Traitor. Lev snarled, drawing a snub from robe. Sarah screamed. Diving, I fired. Clipping the bull's ear. Chaos ballet, bullets stitching drapes. Glass shattering to the void. Victor returned fire. Lev's shoulder exploding mist. The kingpin staggered. Snub clattering. Clutching bar for anchor.
You.
Fools. I advanced. Phone recording. Say it.
Lev.
Harlan innocent. Mike the thief. Bomb your order. He spat blood. Defiant. Never. Sarah. Knife out. Pressed his throat. For Emma. Her eyes, wild. Maternal fury. Slice gash opened. Gurgle. Controversial mercy? Execution in excess. Or justice raw. Lev slumped. Eyes glazing on the stripsin. Lieutenant down. Malls fled screaming. Victor. Bleeding. Grinned wolfish. Clean. Download complete. Confession captured in gasps. Elevator descent. Adrenaline crash. Sarah shaking. Me holstering smoke. We did it. Her whisper.
Awe.
But Victor wheezed. Not over. Cleaners inbound. Sirens wailed below, shots reported. Back to the closet. Emma launching into arms. You okay? Better. Dimitri frantic. Cops swarming. Go. Service exit to alley. Night air electric. Charger waited. Victor driving one-handed. Crimson steering wheel. Emma, did you win? Halfway.
Bug.
Vegas shrank rear. I-15 North calling. Files uploaded to Russo, leak primed. But Sarah's hand on mine. Together now? Temptation. Treacherous. Mike in cuffs. Lev dead. Her flips forgiven? Gray verdict pending. Dawn in Mesquite. Border town anonymity. Hold in a casino comp room. Victor patched by a doc on payroll. News exploded. Levchenko down trending. Feds raiding Vegas dens. Sun Times linking the plane to mob hits. Public frenzy. Heroes or hitmen. Pundits split. Fox hailing vigilante valor. MSNBC decrying mob mayhem.
Me?
Fugitive father. Evidence embargoed till safe. Sarah cooked eggs. Domestic delusion. We can disappear. Canada. Emma cheered. But Victor's call came. Mike talked, your prison shank? He paid the inmate. Extra betrayal. Final twist knife. Her face fell. I didn't know. Ignorance plea. Threadbare. Trust teetered. Afternoon poolside. Emma splashing. Sarah confessed soft. The baby wasn't yours.
Mike's.
But I chose you for stability. Bomb bigger than the plane. Rage boiled. But her tears real. Loved you anyway. Controversial core. Stay fractured family. Or sever for truth. Evening. Decision crystallized run solo with Emma. Files clear me.
You?
Testify clean.
Her nod. Broken.
For her. Kiss goodbye. Salt and sorrow. Victor drove us to a private airstrip. Irony. Plane again. Safe skies. Harlan. Emma waved to shadows fading. Takeoff smooth. Prop plane droning to Boise. Emma. New home.
Ours.
But rear view. Charger's ghost. Lev's cleaners? No. Imagination. Landing soft. Russo waiting with papers. Pardon pending. Custody battle won. Vengeance's ash. Pyrrhic. But Emma's hand in mine. Pure gold. Yet the whisper lingered. Sarah's final. It changed everything. For better? Worse? Debate eternal. Boise's autumn bit crisp. Leaves turning like pages in a ledger I couldn't balance. Yellows and reds mocking the blood on my hands. Levchenko's or otherwise. Russo's cabin on the Payette River. Log walls. Wood stove crackle. A far cry from Hill's glass, but solid as a life sentence commuted. Emma adapted fast. School bus yellow as her unicorn. Friends with freckles and fishing poles. Uncle Jack's my dad now, she'd declare. Crayon drawings of planes with happy bombs, defused. Of course.
Me?
Nights sweated sheets. Dreams splicing skydives with cornfield graves. Sarah's face morphing Mike's. Then Elena's whisper looping infinite. Vengeance won? Pyrrhic trophy. Empire ash. Family fractured. But Emma's laugh the bomb. Feds cleared me official files leaked viral. Mike's trial a circus of flip-flops. Sarah's testimony the spectacle. Immunity shredded, she pled to accessory. 5 years federal. Weekends with kiddo under supervision. Russo handled the custody, grand jury sympathetic. Hero dad, narrative sticking despite the gray. Public? Still split. Billboards in Boise preaching, forgive the fallen. Vegas rags dubbing me Sky Slayer. Talk radio rants, Harlan's a murderer, Levchenko deserved trial. Versus. Mob justice, save taxpayers. Controversy's gift, book deals pinged. Hollywood scouts, sniffing biopic. I declined. Fishing instead. River stock trout. Pole, a therapy no shrink could bill. Elena wrote, pen pal from Gen Pop. Her charges dropped for cooperation. Tommy be proud, her letters ran. Laced with that Cuban fire. Maybe visit when parole lifts. Victor? Ghosted clean. Syndicate splintered post-Lev. Ukrainian debts paid in lead. Winter hit hard. Snow blanketing sins. Emma's first sled run. Whoops echoing off pines. Her mittened hand waving triumph. Faster.
Dad.
The word landed foreign. Fitting. But mail brought the shadow. Package. No return. Brown wrap innocuous. Inside, a Zippo mine. From the Hills closet snag, engraved fresh. It changed everything. S. And a photo. Sarah in orange jumpsuit. Visiting room smile. Emma's braids in the foreground. No clipped, she says hi. Mrs. You. Both. Heart stuttered. Visits? Conditional. But possible. Forgiveness file? Open. Unread. Spring thaw. River raging. Brought the twist. The one that unravels neat bows into knots no one unties easy. Rousseau called. Sarah's appeal. New evidence. Dread coiled. Drove to his office. Boise's lone skyscraper. Files, thumping desk like verdicts. What now? He slid a transcript, Mike's jailhouse confession. Unsealed. Not just schemes. Not just drugs. The heist? My idea. Subconscious, prison therapy tapes. Me muttering bury it all after a bender. Sarah covered. Yes. But twisted my blackouts into frame. Tommy? I was there. Witness. Not Patsy. Fought over the tire iron. Mike finishing. Amnesia from the blow. Her gaslight sealing it. You bore the crime.
Jack.
But you started the fire. World tilted. River roar in ears.
Carol?
Villain?
Both.
The American curse. Self-made monsters in denial. Sarah's flips? Protection from my darkness. Or mutual madness. Controversial apex. No sides pure. Just survivors clawing light. I confronted her at visitation. Plexi wall cold. Her eyes searching. Why hide it? Voice tinny through speaker. You were broken after the miscarriage, our real one. Mike's fling a symptom. The heist? Your rage. Drunk dialed. I cleaned to save us. Tears tracked. Loved you enough to lie. Enough? Or enabling? Emma waited outside. Drawing with the guard's kid. For her, Sarah pressed. Let me out. Co-parent. Decisions razor. Pardon her past. Risk the cycle? Or sever. Shield Emma from the echo. Public would feast. Harlan twist. Debates raging. Betrayer or broken? I chose gray. Appeal supported. Reduced time. Supervised shares. Not happy ever after. No tragic pyre, just messy middle. American as it gets. Summer barbecue. Her first visit. Emma bridging. Unicorn on the grill. Laughter tentative, but real. Sarah's hand brushed mine, spark. Or scar. Changed everything, she echoed the Zippo. I nodded. For us. The betrayed and betrayers. The avengers and victims. Lines blurred eternal. Revenge's end? Not closure, but a new manifest. Haul forward. Baggage lighter. Emma's question. Fireflies dancing. Was the plane scary?
Dad.
Terrifying. But we landed. She hugged. Infinite. In the ash. Something grew. Debate fodder for the world. But ours? Undisputed. The whisper? Faded. But lesson etched. Stay strapped in. Or jump. Both change everything. Choose your plummet.